Yeah, you have to make some noise at some point. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talktor Who.
Talktor Who?
Talktor Who.
Sorry, I'm not up on the Wii yet.
Of course, no, you'll get there. You'll get there.
I know.
My name is Lincoln Echo. Thank you so much for watching today. I am right next to Raven.
Hello.
Thank you very much
and I'm next to Lincoln Echo.
Yes. We're talking about Voyage of the Damned today. Season 4, Episode 0, so it's the Christmas episode. We have the box set. Beautiful, beautiful box set right there.
DVDs.
Love box sets. Let's start this off right with the synopsis of Voyage of the Damned. If we get to the... Yes, here it is. A spacecraft set on an apocalyptic collision course with Earth, a host of killer robot angels, and an evil, severed-headed mastermind. It's just another Christmas for the Doctor. That's very true, because the last 3 Christmases have been disastrous, if you remember.
Yep, I do.
Yes.
They got people in masks. Then you got a star.
My children! My children!
All I remember is the masks. I don't remember that part.
The Arachnos. For the Christmas star.
Oh, that was a Christmas one.
My children! That's the entire episode is just that. If you needed to just...
Good synopsis.
Yeah. My children! Yeah. This episode was written, or it aired on April 18th, 2008. I was going to say 2018.
It aired on 18th. They have Christmas in April?
April 18th, yep. April 18th.
Apparently British people celebrate Christmas.
I mean, it's halfway across the world. It's only logic. It makes most sense.
It does.
Absolutely. It has an IMDb rating of 7.7 out of 10. What do you think about that?
I don't think that's really worth that much. That's a pretty high rating, I feel.
Yeah, that's I mean, 5, I consider it completely just meh. Like it passes, but it just barely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's 50%, so it's, I guess, technically not even passing. 8, I would consider a pretty good episode.
Yes.
9 is a fantastic episode. 10 is obviously a perfect episode, and in a perfect world, those don't really exist. Because perfection doesn't exist. I watch a lot of video game critiquers, and they always talk about, or the ones I listen to, they always talk about how a perfect game doesn't exist, so you can't give it a 10. The highest that people usually give is a 9. So
or
usually
9.8.
Well, in round whole numbers. Okay. But yeah, you're right. You're right. What would you give this episode?
7.7.
7.7.
I'd say. Well, it's only based on the episodes I've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
I think a solid 6.8.
6.8. I was gonna go 6.5. So we're on the same track.
Yeah.
Roughly.
You obviously like Astrid right away, and then they go off and kill her.
Yep.
And that's really the only person that you really care about.
Do you think we're gonna go out on depth on this for a little bit? Do you think that they kill off Astrid because she's too close to Rose?
Like looks wise?
Looks wise and kind of disposition wise, because she's kind of a low end job. Doesn't really have much going for her. I mean, she doesn't have family, whereas Rose did.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think they were similar. I mean, until you're bringing up
she's
all
blonde.
Points, yeah. But I didn't associate her with Rose at all before. She seemed more mature and collected than Rose did.
Sure.
That's an interesting point. They could have. I've only seen 3 companions now, so I don't know how much they try and differ the companions from each other.
Right. Yeah,
but
so
we do have the fact that I mentioned while watching it that she would have been an alien, which would have added a very different spin on things.
That's very true. Yeah, she asked when we were watching it, are the companions always human? Yeah, are the companions always human? And as I recall, yes. Well, except for maybe the first one, because the first one was his granddaughter. So technically it would have been Gallifreyan.
That's true. That's going all the way back to like the 60s?
Yes. Yeah, the very, very first one.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so let's continue here. The director James Strong did episodes such as Daleks in Manhattan and the sequel to that, Partners in Crime, and Planet of the Dead.
Have I seen that one yet?
What's that?
Have I seen Planet of the Dead yet?
No, that's in 2009.
Oh, okay. That sounds exciting.
Yeah. Or maybe it's actually in this season. I don't remember. We can look it up. Or you can look it up right now. It's fine.
I mean, you keep tracking. I'm just gonna.
Written by Russell T Davies. You know him. You love him. You hate him. One of the two, usually. It's like algebra and geometry. You can't love both.
I'm a geometry person.
Yeah. Gotta love those quadrilaterals.
I totally remember.
Exactly. Let's do some act trivia for you. Act trivia. Yes, very nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. All right. David Tennant's mother died near the start of the production of this episode, requiring the crew to shoot around him during the consequent absence. Yeah. Shout out to David Tennant. Thank you so much for your service to Doctor Who and all of your acting abilities and everything.
I'm personally very close to my mother, David. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your mother is at rest.
Yes, indeed. In the first interaction of the Doctor with the robot angel, it fails and its head starts to twitch, saying Max, 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 a parody of the character Max Headroom from 1987. This episode broadcast 95 years after the historic 1912 disaster of the original Titanic, with the passenger liner Titanic was struck by an iceberg and sunk, in which 1,503 people died.
I feel like they should have waited just 5 more years and had it done on the 100th year anniversary.
Yep, in 2012. They could have. They could have done that.
Yep.
Forward thinking. Hindsight 2020, you know.
And all they had to do is line up the dates. They knew 2012 was coming.
Well, I mean, Mayan calendar. They may have not thought about that.
True.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, well, let's see. What happened in this episode? So, in the very beginning, the TARDIS crashes into the Titanic, and I think that he thought that it was the original Titanic.
Yes.
Because one of the life preservers comes into the TARDIS, and it just says Titanic, not Titanic 2 or Space Titanic or what have you.
Mm-hmm. Which, logistical question, doesn't the police box have some sort of, like, field around it? Like, how in the world did the Titanic be able to run into the box?
They addressed this.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he said that he was traveling and he was rebuilding his ship, and he had his shields down for a moment, and he bumped into the Titanic.
Okay.
And was a stowaway.
That's fair.
Yep.
That works. Okay.
That's what he said to Astrid, I believe.
Something interesting watching episodes twice, not too far apart. The first
Yes.
time I watched this episode, I thought that there was a much bigger time difference and that I should have just paid attention to what the characters are saying, but I thought they were people from Earth or people from space in general, but way farther ahead in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that they were trying really hard to do that vintage thing. So it took me a long time to figure out that when Donna comes in later and you see his grandpa, the timeline thing really threw me off because I didn't know how that was supposed to work out. But
yeah. Yep. Yeah, you know, when you think Space Titanic, you think, year 2000 kind of stuff, right? Like not 2000, year 3000, I'm sorry.
That's better,
year 3000.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I still live in the 90s.
Let's still be in the past. Yes. Let's address his character real quick.
Yes, please.
Well, first of all, how do you feel about his aesthetics?
They did a fantastic job with his prosthetics. With his face, with his cyborgness.
Mm-hmm.
They did great with that. No problems with that.
You don't mind the shiny, spiky ball? It just reminded me of a kid's ball. My parents.
Oh,
my parents
like
have
a Nerf ball?
No, not Nerf. My parents have several of these little inflatable, like you buy at Walmart, and the one with big ball bins,
mm-hmm.
and they're just like this big
mm-hmm.
with little spikes all over them. They're like a rubbery material. That's exactly what its head looks like.
That's probably what he was modeled after.
So,
but they did a good job with that.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so did his voice bother you?
Yes.
And then speech patterns
yes.
also. Why did that bother you?
It was too repetitive. I would have not had a problem with his speech, at least because if you're not familiar with this episode, he kind of talks like this, and he's up in his higher register. You know, it's,
I mean, he's small, and if you have a small character, they have to have high voices.
Obviously, like the he talks like the Munchkins from the Lollipop Guild.
Yes, actually, quite a lot like them.
Yep. So I wonder if that was kind of a throwback. Probably not
no.
in any regard.
That take.
Yeah. But his everything that he talked, every time that he talked, it was kind of like Chantho, where
yes, that's it. I was trying to figure out who that was.
Yeah, Chantho. So where she had to start everything with Chan and everything with though ending, like everything had to be ending with though. It's like that with Banakafalata, except for not all the time.
Yes.
And every time that he talked, it was either 2 or 3 words. Every time he talked.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Every scene that he was in, he had 3 lines, and then it would go to the next person.
Oh, 3 lines.
No, 3 words. I'm sorry, 3 words.
2 to 3 words.
2 or 3 words.
Oh. When he was dying, he had a little bit stronger dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I didn't like that.
Not one
if he had more complex sentence structure, that would be fine. This is my problem, is I don't know if that's a character choice or if it's a personal affect. If it's something that the person that was making
how
that
the actor
character
interpreted his character.
Right. Yeah, if it was written that way, then that's an entirely different thing than the character or the actor having issues to where he could only do it that way. I don't know whichever way it is. I think that was Mini-Me. The guy who played Banakafalata was Mini-Me in I'm blanking on the names of it. Post me. Put the thing on the screen.
I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot of small actors in the industry, so they probably get a lot of roles.
Yeah. And if it is the person who I'm thinking it is, I've seen him not in real life, but in...
You met him?
No. In a not character. And he talked fine. So it wasn't like it was...
I definitely think it was written that way. I don't think it was actor's choice.
We meet this one guy who's kind of the tour guide of America, or of the world, because he has this degree in earthonomics.
Great degree. Studied it myself.
Absolutely. And he takes a group of people down to the surface and tells people all about Christmas, because it's a Christmas episode in April. And he tells everyone about the horrors of Christmas and how everyone worships their god named Santa, who has ferocious claws
and is married to Mary.
And married to Mary. And all these things that are completely wrong. Although technically, you can make a case of people worshiping Santa, but that's a completely different story.
And maybe Santa's wife is named Mary. We don't know her first name.
It's true. I don't think we never.
No, just Mrs.
Really
Claus.
That out. Just Mrs. Claus. Maybe it is Mary Claus.
Kris Kringle has a first name.
Chris and Mary. Hashtag confirmed. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, so we meet all the characters, and we find out that the ship's captain is trying to collect a pension for his family by means of crashing the ship on purpose with meteors going into the side of the ship, very much like the original Titanic being struck by icebergs. This one was struck by meteors. And they're careening down into Earth, and the heavenly hosts, the angels, who say, "Information, da 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 da, information, you are now dead." They all turn on everyone, and they start killing everybody. And the Doctor saves the day. Hooray!
Who knew that was gonna happen?
I see what you did there. Who knew?
Wasn't on purpose.
Da 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 da.
All right, so interesting ethical choice. That's one of the great things about Doctor Who is how they throw in the ethical social experiments all the time.
Yes.
With the captain who tells, first of all, later on, he tells the young dude, Alonzo, that he was
Alonzo.
I always wanted to say that. That he was expecting a crew of all older guys.
Yeah.
So he was willingly killing people, but hopefully killing older people. But that wasn't my main point. The main point was that I thought Alonzo was a very interesting character in that he was, I don't know if it's because he's like young and naive and still trying to make a good impression on everyone, but being a super rule biter.
Mm-hmm.
But when the captain kept telling him all these things that weren't lining up with how they were supposed to be, he switched to trying to make excuses for the captain to have it line up so he could still be following the rules. Like when the shields were off, he'd be like, oh, or when the asteroids, they turned to face the asteroids, he's like, oh, that shouldn't be there. You must be making a light show for the passengers. Like he has to cram it into his box to still make it like okay.
Right.
I thought that was an
right. Yeah,
interesting
because he's assuming that the experienced captain is still in the right.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still not suspicious in a younger, like you said, naive. Probably more naive than anything at that point.
He does make the choice to stand up against the authority.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that part's as naive. I think he just wants everyone to be in, have everyone else's interest at heart, like he does.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
I like that part.
Yeah.
As far as like we were talking earlier about
Banna Cafalata. Banna Cafalata. Can I just call you Banna? No. Banna Cafalata.
Anyway, Banna.
No. Banna Cafalata.
All right, Banna Cafalata.
Yay, you did it
right. With his aesthetics and stuff, the host.
Yes.
Do you think it was on purpose that they have the halos, and then when they take off the halos, they have little horns? Then.
Probably. Yeah. I didn't catch that.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought it was so obvious.
It's no, yeah, because the halos are
held up with prongs.
Prongs, but there's 3 of them.
But you never see the third one.
Never see the third one. No.
So when they take I thought it was like, I always thought it was cliche when they did it, but you didn't notice it.
No. Well, I noticed the prongs, but I didn't put that together.
Oh, gotcha. Well, yeah. I like that.
Very good. So let's talk about Max Capricorn and how he's basically just a talking head. First of all, the phrase "talking head" is in business just means that basically you're the spokesperson for a business, but you're not really doing anything.
Oh, so they really made a point.
They might have, but I think it's interesting to look at and compare and contrast the differences between Max Capricorn as someone who's lived past his prime and seen a lot, and the Doctor, who not necessarily lived past his prime, but lives a lot longer than what a lot of people around him do, and is also alone. And when he's alone, he makes different decisions, not necessarily bad ones, but
I didn't even count him being alone. He's alone for half an episode.
No, I know, but he especially later, the episodes that you haven't gotten to yet, when he gets to the Doctor Victorious, he starts getting kind of in his own head and says, and he shadows it a little bit here, where he says, "I can do anything," when he's trying to bring back Astrid. It's like, no, I'm me. I can do anything. I can make this work. I can make it work. Just let me do it. And he gets caught up in that, and he gets used to winning.
Speaking of which, why does he not just go back and save Astrid?
He has this rule. It's kind of a weird rule where he doesn't cross his own time stream, even though he does at times. But yeah, I was thinking about that too. Where it's like he could just go back in time and catch her while she's falling, which he does do at some point with a different character.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it when the plot doesn't allow it.
So finish about the Max part.
Well, I think it's interesting because there are evil characters or poorly intentioned characters in the story who have those characteristics of the Doctor of being alone for too long or living for too long and dealing with the downsides or the aftermath of those consequences of their actions.
So you feel like the companions are necessary to keep the Doctor good?
Yes. No, absolutely.
I think that's very fair.
Because if I mean, there's an old saying, no man is an island, or things like that. I was gonna say no man lives on bread alone, but that's not really that.
Not a quote we're looking for.
No, but no man is an island, and if you seclude yourself, you start overthinking your decisions, or even underthinking your decisions. Yeah, I think the only thing worse than that is being around people who agree with you all the time. Because if you're around yes men, then no one says no.
Yeah, so then you self-develop.
Exactly.
Almost as bad as being. I mean, if you're only with yes men, then it's just basically like being alone because you never have anyone judging you, growing you, or question you.
Right. So I think it's interesting to see character development when he realizes that is someone who he can become.
Yes. When he had, yes.
Because if you remember Donna's first episode with the Arachnos,
yes,
she actually stops him. She says, "You can stop now."
Yes.
So she was the one that made him. Kept him good. Kept him from genocide.
Why in the world did they get your hopes up so darn much? Why in the world did the Doctor have a spark of inspiration that he could bring Astrid back, only to not have her back? Like, why didn't they just kill her and leave her dead?
There's a lot of times like that where, like, why didn't you just let them die?
But usually they're
Doctor Who.
But usually they're at least like Pavement Girl, right? Like she at least gets semi brought back, but Astrid, she just like
nothing. Yeah. I mean, I guess you have the closure of she's traveling because she's atoms and she's flying or something, but...
Which, do you think her name was on purpose to have that more ethereal...
Oh, I'm sure.
...feel to it?
I'm sure. Let me just rub my eye while you're talking. No problem.
Do your eyeball ever squeak?
I think so.
I have very squeaky eyeballs.
Yeah, that means they're clean.
Well, I do it.
Squeaky clean!
Clean them quite often.
Just take them out.
No, you're not supposed to blow on them. You're supposed to use a dry rag and toothpaste. Like CD-ROMs. You know, you can put toothpaste.
Keep going. Keep going.
If you have a CD that's skipping, you can rub it with toothpaste. And it will just skip over that part though, but it won't like get hung up on that scratch part anymore.
Very good. I like that. I like it.
Just one small factual question. When the ship is flying over Earth, they call it Sol 3. Is that just like names for different parts of the galaxies?
Oh, I finally got that. Sol 3. So that means it's the third planet from the sun.
Are we?
Mm-hmm. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
I still include Pluto.
I learned that in 2nd grade.
Oh yeah, well, I learned the continents of Asia. Has Hong Kong and China, Taiwan.
The continents of Asia?
The continent of Asia has Hong Kong and China, Taiwan, Macau, and Japan, and Mongolia, Korea, and South Korea are in this beautiful land.
Cha-cha-cha. Because cha-cha-cha is Asian.
No, I added that myself.
Oh, very good.
Because I can improv like that.
Hashtag a cultural appropriation. It was a fun episode to talk about. Interesting episode to watch. Not the best episode. Not the worst one, though. It certainly wasn't Pavement Girl. Certainly was not Absorbaloff.
Ugh. There's something about that main character, though. The blogger.
Mm-hmm.
Who's kind of...
That was an interesting idea. I'll give it that.
Yeah, he reminds me of another character I've seen someone else again.
Maybe Us? No?
No.
Meta. The other thing I wanted to bring up, the two love characters, the larger ones.
Yes.
Foon and her husband.
Is that what you're gonna name your child? Foon?
Foon? No.
You should consider it.
Foon. Hi, I'm Foon. And we'll also teach them
Foon can only have a southern accent?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's
How
fine.
y'all doing? My name's Foon. And she's also sassy.
What if Foon? If you could be French, and it'd be much more appealing, no?
Je m'appelle Foon.
No, je m'appelle Foon.
Foon. Yes. Very good.
So, what about Foon and...
Foon, I liked them.
Me too.
I enjoyed their arc.
I agree.
Their story. I think it was very sweet.
I agree.
What she did at the very end.
Well, I had a question about that actually. She sacrificed herself to save the group, but she didn't have. She was behind him, put the rope on. She could have just pushed him off. She did not need to go over with him. She's not even holding onto the rope once they're like
over.
That's
true.
So she didn't necessarily, but obviously she was
didn't
like
know
heartbroken.
that. Yeah, and she probably wanted to do it. I think it was super heartbreaking, and I think that was believable. Where it's like they've been together for so long. She goes off and saying like, he's dead now. What am I supposed to do without him?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really like that. I really like how that ended.
I think my favorite part was them when the annoying dude was making fat jokes about them. And what's the guy's name?
I don't remember. Mr. Foon
was like telling her not to listen to him and stuff, and then when she confesses her mistake, how she's so scared, and he just like takes it in stride and laughs.
Yeah, like what does it matter?
I that part made me like him the most, I think.
I think that's really sweet too. And I think characterization of characters like this, of what, for lack of a better term, throwaway characters, is so important in storyline because it makes them human. It makes you want to invest in them. And you don't see that very often. I mean, even that really annoying character, he had a little bit of characterization and enough to where hair's falling apart. Enough to where you wanted to hate him. You wanted to.
Oh, not Bacalana.
No, not Bacalana. No, Banacafalata.
Ah, so close.
Banacafalata. I'm like the complete opposite of Banacafalata. I'm tall and not a cyborg.
What?
No, I'm not.
All this time?
I have organs.
No. You could just be a really advanced model.
Such plentiful organs.
I've never seen your inside, so you could still be a cyborg. So, Donna's grandpa.
Yes.
He's just like the combination of all the best old men you've ever met in your life. I like him so
Absolutely.
much.
I think he did fight in the war. Like in real life.
Oh, that's cool.
Like IRL. The dude fought in World War II.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I like his character a lot. They should bring him.
Yes, so thank you very much for watching this episode. Tune in next time when we review... what's the name of the episode that we review? Is it on the back there? Partners in Crime. When we review Partners in Crime.
Oh, little fat bits?
Yeah, little fat bits.
That was a weird one.
I thought you said something else, but you said bits. Little fat bits.
I don't swear ever.
Little fat bits. Tune in next time when we talk about the little fat bits. Thank you very much. My name is Lincoln Echo.
And I'm Raven.
Thank you very much for watching.
Good night.